Hello everybody and welcome back to the tournaments. Today it is the morning. We will be watching the Asian tournaments. We have Rat playing a cost control specialist versus Happening, the mini European advanced group 4 champion with the Rhino specialist. Now there has been a major update to the game, several unit changes as well as a brand new missile interceptor deployment. Now this missile interceptor is not as good as most people would think. It doesn't block 100% of missiles, but it has recently caused a bit of a shift in the meta where we might see a little bit less storm callers if that was ever a concern of yours. Looks like Rat is going to have a little bit more HP than Happening, and Happening seems to be playing very passively. This might not go so well if Rat does decide to go super ham with this aggressive play. In fact, Rat unlocked and purchased a unit of Stormcallers early. This actually will pay dividends for him, especially if these Stormcallers... I hate that bug. When you click on something and the unit moves, because you're not the player moving it, it just keeps sticking on it. But anyways, it looks like Rat will be doing a little bit of the Stormcaller cheese with the range. He should be able to just basically pop this tower every couple of turns. There will need to be something here to defend against that. Rat did also play some crawlers in the backline. That should be enough to protect him short term. There's a little bit more wave clear here for Rat as well in the form of these Stormcallers, and it looks like the crawlers are already getting on the tower. Oh no, this tower dropping is huge. One, it slows down the crawlers, so they're much more likely to be hit by these Stormcaller shots. But of course, two, units take a lot more damage once the tower does drop, as well as move significantly slower and deal less damage. It's just an all-around bad time, and it looks like this headbutt is going to be wildly successful. The last fall of the steel balls, ooh, and the other tower though. I was going to say these Mustang might be able to get in here and deal with these Stormcallers a little bit. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. These Stormcallers know their business. They've earned a ton of XP. I wouldn't be surprised if those Crawlers earned a level as well. We'll check that here in a second. Let us see. They did. They did earn a level. Rat most likely will want to skip here as well. I was going to think that Happening might go with the Assault Fang, but choosing not to. Rat might be interested in the Underground Threat, which is causing him to wait a minute, but let's see what old Happening does. It is going to be 3 units of Arc Lights, just to help clear away these Crawlers a bit. That could be the case. Oh, no, it's going to be 2 units of Arc Lights and a unit of Crawlers. Happening does go with the Heavy Armor, most likely to buff up one of these Steel Balls. Oh, no. Steel Ball no more. Heavy Armor on the Vulcan. Wow, that's going to be insane. This Vulcan's going to have a ton of HP and be easily able to deal with a lot of these units. Now, something that Rat might have to deal with is the rest of these units are going to be significantly faster than the Vulcan. So I'm not sure the Vulcan will get in range to deal damage before the rest of these units are dead. I would like to see that Vulcan positioned a little bit farther up, but I understand the importance of leaving a unit there. Looks like another unit of Crawlers as well for Rat. Happening is good to go. Where did those units of Crawlers go? I don't... Ah, there they are. Far back. Okay. Let's see if this Vulcan ever deals any damage. I would be somewhat surprised. There it is, killing off a unit of Crawlers. That's pretty useful. It should be able to grab the Mustang here as well. Wow, the positioning on that is actually working very much to Rat's favor. Unfortunately, a hard loss on the left. We'll have to see whose tower drops first, and it looks like it might still go the way of Rat, just because this Vulcan is still alive. Yeah, Vulcan's still up. It's going to take a huge amount of pounding from these level 1 snipers, and with the tower gone, I have to give this to Rat. Question only becomes, will the Vulcan survive? If the Vulcan lives, that's a huge amount of damage that will go out onto Happening. Happening did spawn with a good amount of HP though, so he should be able to take a few more of these rounds without much of a problem, but you just don't want it to become a big issue. And the Vulcan gets distracted. That's not good. The Vulcan might actually die here because of that. Oh no, sniper death does go down. Alright. This goes the way of Rat, as we expected. And it turns out pretty good positioning here on the Vulcan. Vulcan was able to clear up a lot of those units. It should be able to get the Arc Light and save these Stormcallers from the Crawler menace. Look at him go! Oh, he just saves them. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that the Vulcan would just snap back into where his feet were looking at. That's kind of weird. Amp Core coming out for happening. Rat could go with the intensive training. That would be pretty darn good. No, Rat goes with the Amp Core as well. Most likely just to slap that onto the Vulcan. The Amp Core is what I would consider an S tier pickup. It is so strong. Just improving HP and attack is great. Here comes the Phoenix. Alright, looks like... oh, wow. And Happening actually gets his Rhino now. So he's going to have a super tough Rhino to help deal with this fire. As long as the Rhino kind of avoids the steel balls, he should be in a good spot. Looks like Rat is just going to try and delay this left-hand side as much as possible. And the Amp Core actually being placed on the Phoenix. Okay, there's only 3 snipers and 2 Mustang. That is more than enough anti-air to deal with 2 groups of Phoenix, but we shall see if it's enough. Here comes the Rhino, and the Rhino should be able to absorb a huge amount of this damage. Unfortunately, these Phoenix are right on top of him. And they will probably clear away this Rhino very quickly once all 4 shots are going out. Oh, some are still shooting at crawlers. The Sniper's online, picking off Phoenix as well. One group of Phoenix is already down. That missile was not enough to deal with the left-hand flank, and down goes the Rhino. Yeah, I think that those Stormcallers really made a big difference, as well as just the very tanky Rhino. And this looks like a very well-placed defense here from Happening. Rat is going to lose a significant amount of HP. Happening evens out the game. Still just up an inch behind, but well done by Happening. Happening skips again. Rat might be tempted by the Lightning Storm. I'd be interested to see if he picks it up, just because these units are all bricked out. One Lightning Storm in this area would deal a lot of damage, and if the game continues to go at this slow cut pace, both players should be in a good spot for Happening to be able to use that one more time. He's thinking about it. Really needs to defend this left. Honestly, a Vulcan on the left would defend it exceedingly well, but that would mean he was almost certainly doomed on the right. Oh, what did Happening pick up here? It looks like he opted to skip because he has 50 bucks. All right. Steel balls are just going to try and menace their way straight at the tower. I don't think they'll get there. I think they'll get intercepted by these crawlers and stuck. We shall see, though. Oh, we see a unit of Fang come out as well. Those Fang are doomed, but they will delay for an extra second. It's just a speed bump. I think Happening's play of getting the extended range on the marksman is extremely good, just because it will allow him to kind of plink away at all of these smaller units without the Mustang getting in range of the steel balls. And we see the Phoenix being pulled back significantly. Yeah, I think that's a wise decision. Rat needs to clear away a lot of these crawlers and a lot of the chaff in order for the Phoenix to really make any difference. Unfortunately, I don't think there's enough wave clear for Rat. The positioning here by Happening is just marvelous, because the Rhino is most likely going to be the thing that takes a lot of the damage. Oh, wow, Vulcan on the flank. Okay, will a Vulcan live? It looks like it will live long enough to deal with this. Oh no, the fires go out. It got one unit of crawlers, but more importantly, it did enough to pull everything away. The Rhinos, or sorry, the steel balls were able to get through without the Rhino there to defend. Wow. Heck, even these Fang are getting some kills on the left. Very well done here by Rat. Great positioning, good change-up of tactics. We'll have to see what Happening does to deal with that Vulcan on his right flank. This Vulcan's going to get a ton of kills. It probably will not level, but yeah, there's not enough here to reinforce this. That is unfortunate. Well played here. Really well played here by Rat. I would not have thought to put that Rhino on the flank, and that's why Rat is one of the best players. Very interesting, very well done. This will be a quick cleanup here as the Vulcan just slowly gets himself into range and burns the rest of these Mustang down. As long as that sniper falls, there's really nothing else here that can contest the Vulcan. And even then, I think the sniper's just going to die to these Stormcallers. Yep. So Vulcan will take a minute to burn everything, commit some more war crimes, and off he goes. Great job, little buddy. Ooh, and you gotta love that extra 400 damage. Alright, the Vulcan in the backline here for Rat is extremely important. Let's see what Happening can deal with it. Subsidized Mustang. Interesting. Does he grab more Mustang? No, it's a Fortress. The Fortress would do it. Oh, the Fortress would do extremely well against the Vulcan, but given that there's no longer a Vulcan, I think very well played there. Vulcan goes out on the left. And this is a very, very good play here by Rat. So this fortress is going to take a long time to get in and deal damage. Unfortunately, the steel balls are positioned such that the fortress will do fairly well against them. That's why we see Rat kind of moving these units away, because he's realized, hey, whatever happening puts on this right-hand flank, if it can deal with a Vulcan, it can probably deal with my little steel balls. So I want to get them moving and grooving out of the way. We see a lot of Vulcan and quite a few Fang. Interesting. The Fang are here to absorb the shots from these marksmen, and I think that's a very wise decision. Really, that's the only single point damage besides this big old fortress that happening has on the field. Granted, with enough Mustang and range, they may eventually be able to kill a Vulcan, but it's just unlikely. We'll see what happens. Oh, and I like this upgrading of the Phoenix, just because the Phoenix need to be here to deal with this Rhino, and that Rhino has taken a long time. Wow. Unfortunately, it looks like the Vulcan are mostly committing friendly fire at this point, killing off huge swathes of their own units. The Phoenix get distracted. We really needed those here to take care of this Rhino, but the steel balls are enough. Great job. Rhinos are doing all right. They're getting some good damage in. Down goes the tower. Oh, man. Unfortunately, these Vulcan, I feel like they've committed a lot more friendly fire than they have anything else with the incendiary bombs. Let's see if these Fang walk straight into this incendiary pile. I think so. And given the units on the field, I'm thinking that old happening has this. The Phoenix might claim the tower at a really important part, though. Ooh, they need one more shot. I don't think they'll get it. Yep, happening does take this. Well done, happening. Oh, that fire did actually come good for just a second there, burning off a couple of Mustang and a sniper. And it looks like the Phoenix was able to get a couple more kills because of it. Yeah, with the amount of crawlers that Rat has on the field, I'm really surprised he chose to go with those incendiary bombs. As we could see, those incendiary bombs cooked off a lot of his own units. Top supply coming out here for Happening. Wow, if Happening's able to survive another 2 rounds of the game, he's going to do extremely well. Happening chooses to grab 2 more units of Fortress to help deal with these Vulcan. What did Rat choose? Oh, melting points. We see a huge giant transition from both players. Lots of giants on the field now. I wonder if Happening will be able to counter this. As these Stormcallers continue to level, they're very good against giants. I'd like to see this Stormcaller get that level, just because all of the giants here for Rat are level 1. And if these Stormcallers just keep pounding in with, like, it would be 1800 damage per shot with splash damage, that's pretty darn good. We'll see how this goes. These steel balls have been a thorn in the side of Happening, though. I would like to see something that can come out and deal with these steel balls quickly, but the steel balls have 25,000 HP, and that's going to do a lot of damage. It doesn't look like either player is opting for any kind of flank. Probably a wise decision. Out comes the mass burning, and this little area right here is bad for these Fang. Alright, let's see if these melting points can get online. It looks like, oh, this, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the Rhino is the top thing, and the Fortress. Wow, these melting points are already earning their keep in a big way. The Vulcan are here to clear away all the chaff. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is going to go exceedingly well here for Rat. Unfortunately, all of his little crawlers will die to friendly fire, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I don't think so. I truly don't think so. Man, these melting points are just... Oh, this guy hasn't earned a level yet? That is unfortunate. You'd love to see both these melting points get a level for the next round. Rat is able to do a huge amount of damage to Happening. Happening will have a tiny bit more cash than Rat this turn. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. Happening opts to skip. He's only got $50 more. Oh, that's not great. Shields and the Fistobots coming out here for the Fortress. That's a lot of money pumped into these fortresses. Let's see if they're enough. There isn't really anything here to deal with giants, though. Looks like Rat chose to grab the Orbital Bombardment. It's a good spot. Very good spot. And recycling those Phoenix. That way I have a feeling, yeah, the melting points are going to have this extra tech. Interesting that the Amp Core decided to go on the level 1 unit. It's not the worst thing in the world to do, and the reason for that is now this level 1 unit is able to shoot almost as if it's a level 2 unit. And the level 2 unit, of course, is able to still pack a huge wallop. So I do like this choice here by Rat. I do think that happening needs to get, I don't know, maybe a few snipers with the... He doesn't have the electromagnetic shot. Ooh, that's going to be tough. That is going to be real tough. There's a lot of HP now on the field here for Rat, and there isn't really a huge amount of damage that can come out. Unfortunately, I believe both these fortresses are doomed to fail, as there isn't really any extra chaff here. These Fang might be enough to deflect a couple of those shots. And if Rat's Vulcans continue to do the friendly fire that they are, this might go the way of happening, but I'm giving it an 80% chance to go in the way of Rat. I think that Rat's got this game on this round, but we'll see. We shall see. Melting Point does a little bit of a boogie-oogie just to be safe. Lots of bombardments coming down. Down goes the shield almost instantaneously. Oh no. Yeah, these fortresses don't really stand much of a chance. The fists are going out though, and that will be enough to clear away some of these units. Not too bad. There's still 2 fortresses up. I don't think they'll be able to get in range though, and that's really the damning thing here for these fortresses. They're able to claim Vulcan with those punches, but that's it. There just wasn't enough range to kind of get in here, deal with the giants quickly. I do like the level 2 Stormcallers, but this should be a lesson to everyone. If giants become the main form of attack, whoever transitions into melting points has a pretty clear advantage. 2 of my favorite players, DakaDaka versus Luckhard. Man, there's only 2 things in this world that you could never have enough of, and one of those is more Daka. Looks like both players actually have some very good hands here. We have seen a lot of tank play in the most recent tournaments. Granted, the meta has shifted quite a bit, and it looks like Luck is going to go with the Rhino Specialist Steel Ball Crawler. These rhinos can quickly get out of hand. Previously, we've seen detonating rhinos taking out towers, rhinos with the mobile beacon charging down towers, even rhinos in the back line with a little bit of support can become an absolute nightmare. Luck is one of the best players in the world. DakaDaka is just a fantastic name. I've actually played against this guy a couple of times on the ladder. I think right now we actually stand at a 50-50. He's beat me once, I've beat him once. I will verify that later though. But yeah, both players really well-to-do players. It looks like DakaDaka, with the cost control specialist, is going to be able to play out a couple of Fang. And these Fang are going to be really crucial, but I feel like they're going to get overwhelmed here pretty quickly without heavy support from these arc lights. Ooh, so this is a very good play here by DakaDaka for several reasons. What can happen with a cost control specialist is, although you have a ton of extra cash, you can be overwhelmed by the amount of levels that the opposite player is able to get. So you're playing out more units that are weaker, and what happens then is that, let's say normally it's a 1-to-1 trade. Well, these crawlers might trade into a group of enemy crawlers, still have a few units survive, and get a couple of extra kills. Yes, they'll get overwhelmed, but they've earned 1.5% XP because they've killed an entire unit, maybe a quarter of the other unit, and that means that they're leveling significantly quicker. And in the early game, it's more important to have more units, but around round 3, round 4, levels really start to make a big difference. And this is actually, I like this play because these missiles are extremely well placed, unfortunately, here for Luckhard. I wouldn't be surprised if... oh my god. I was going to say, did the missiles just win the game? No. Very close, though. Actually, this might work a little bit to the disfavor of DakaDaka because he'd like his units to get a little bit more HP or XP, but that's a lot of damage on Luck early. Wow. Really great missile placement there. I bet Luck just threw his hands in the air like, oh, well, I guess I lose. Luckhard goes with the heavy armor. I wouldn't be surprised if both players grab the heavy armor, but DakaDaka is the Rhino, or really? DakaDaka is not the Rhino specialist. He still chose to get the strikes back. These flanks are pretty well protected. I'm surprised. But maybe DakaDaka is like, hey, you know what? You only have 1 sniper. Quick transition into Phoenix would do quite well for him. Instead, opting to unlock more crawlers and more Fang from both players. Okay. We're going to see a chaff war. DakaDaka has a ton of cash. Grabbing a lot of crawlers here is probably great. Man, Luck also grabbed a whole bunch of crawlers. Interesting. These flanks are very well protected now. Not from flying units, and maybe Daka will unlock Phoenix or Wasps for next turn to just get in here and deal some damage. Honestly, a couple of Wasps on the flanks would do extremely well here for DakaDaka. Luckhard will be able to see that the Strike Specialist is in play, though. Oh my god. Daka's like, you know what? It worked once. It might work again. These Fang will absorb the shot, and we'll actually have a game on our hands, but this is $200 so far that DakaDaka has invested in these missiles. The first one was definitely worth it. I mean, that's a lot of cash, but we shall see if there's enough here to punch through and deal the damage. I just don't think that there's enough single target damage, high damage, single target damage to deal with these steel balls, especially these guys over here with the heavy armor. I think that old DakaDaka might see a loss here, but we'll see. These arc lights with the tank support will be able to clear off huge amounts of chaff. And you know what? Tanks, when they're all shooting at the same steel ball, tend to get rid of steel balls a little bit quicker than most people think. Especially once the tanks have mechanical rage, so that way they're not shooting at like the speed of, 4.5 seconds, is it, on a tank? For their attack interval? Yeah, 4.5 seconds. That's insanely long. And it looks like old DakaDaka had more than enough chaff here to push through, rush down Luck's units, and then clean them up. Luck is in a seriously bad position. My earlier prediction was completely wrong. Owie, wowie, wowie. Luck is almost in the danger zone on round 2. This is insanity. Alright, Luck's really got to bring this back. He grabs the portable shield. It's on the Rhino. DakaDaka might opt for barrier? No, also gets the portable shield. On what? Some steel balls? Okay, this makes sense. He knows that the Rhino's coming out. And yeah, positioning the steel balls to protect these towers is incredibly important. Now, what this portable shield will do is allow these steel balls to survive an extra hit from the Rhino. That is incredibly important because the Rhino right now is hitting for 6,000 damage. I have seen Rhinos just cut through a unit of steel balls without much of an issue, especially if this Rhino, oh, it does have the self-detonation. So this final blitz, extremely good. It's the tower killer and also just kills basically everything around it. This whirlwind is incredibly important as well because it can just demolish a unit of steel balls before the steel balls have range. I do like this Stormcaller play here from Luckhard. A lot of these units are grouped up. They all tend to congregate kind of in these two little areas of this map, so at least the Stormcaller shots have a higher chance of landing and dealing some significant damage. Oh no, the Rhino moves here for Luckhard. He didn't realize it, but this Rhino placement was much better than this one, just because these steel balls have shields. Those shields are going to be really important, and honestly, this Rhino's going in a little unsupported. I would like it if there was a unit of crawlers going ahead of it. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The Fang will survive a little while longer. Yeah, get that Rhino out of here. Let him come in while he's supported. Yeah, supported by these crawlers. I think that's much better. Okay, we have a bit more of a game on our hands now. These Stormcaller shots go out early. They're able to just decimate these units of Fang. That's incredibly important, as now the crawlers won't be focusing on the Fang as much. Ooh, and some really good Stormcaller shots, able to take out a huge amount of steel balls. The steel balls are already working down the Rhino. One steel ball drops. Will the others? No. Rhino is down, and that's going to be a huge amount of XP. The Stormcallers are doing a good amount of damage, but you know what? They're just a little too late. As they continue to grow and level, as this game becomes more of a fight on these 2 points, I think the Stormcallers will become just better and better. But until that point, they're a little bit too unsupported right now. Oh, Luck has stopped the bleeding a little bit. He was hemorrhaging. Now he's just taking some cuts across the chest. Let's see if he's able to stitch himself up. Wow, very quick pickup there by DakaDaka. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but he picked it so quick it was able to pop up before we even see these cards. Luck, honestly, the parasitic ammo might do extremely well here for Luck, just because if he puts it on one of these Stormcallers, he's going to be able to convert a lot of these units. Yeah, Luck does think so as well. We'll see what he does. Luck is continuously recycling his units that aren't performing very well. I think that's a wise decision. And out comes the Mama ship. Okay. Yeah, double Mama ship. Burn the Midnight Oil. He's finally put the heavy armor in a spot that's a little bit better. I do like that he's kept this Rhino out. And this is going to go incredibly well. There's 2 units of Fang. Both Fang are the first thing to be targeted down by the Stormcallers. These Overlords are going to guarantee Luck's victory. DakaDaka has already used all of his cash. I do like the upgraded Arc Lights. I think too many players don't upgrade their Arc Lights. Arc Lights actually have quite a bit of HP. They shoot pretty darn quick. They have good splash damage. Arc Lights are just a solid unit. The problem that a lot of players have with them is that they're a single entity unit. A group of tanks generally outperform a single Arc Light. But if you didn't know also, that doesn't matter. So if the missile hits ground, your flying units are not affected. Just a little bit of useful stuff. Man, this Overlord's doing extremely well, just continually stopping damage from coming out. It needs to get a shot into these steel balls. It does not, and down goes the Rhino. That's unfortunate. But the Overlord's going to delay this flank by a huge amount. There's no longer anything else that shoots up. Now all Luck is playing for is how many units can I kill in order to save my guys in the back line, deal as much damage back as possible. And it looks like he's going to deal a significant amount. Probably close to 1,000? 400? Yeah, no, he's going to do over 1,000 damage. Well done here by Luck. Pulling himself back into the game by making a very important unit transition. Very, very well done. Orbital Bombardment comes out here for DakaDaka. Luck takes a couple of seconds to think. Orbital Bombardment as well. Oh no. I misspoke. DakaDaka grabbed the Javelin. That's a much better pickup for him, as it will cripple 2 units, and importantly, get rid of these Overlords that are just dealing a ton of damage. One of the things I like to have is my... Oh, good recycle here by Luck. I do like to actually let my Overlords move around. Because they're such a key unit, things like the Javelin comes out. So I like to just kind of push my Overlords around a little bit. Double Overlord and a unit of Crawlers here for Luck. The only real answer that DakaDaka has gotten is an Overlord of his own. That will not be enough anti-air to deal with 3 other Overlords in most cases. Luck also chose to recycle his... Oh no. Luck choosing to recycle his Rhino is very good. Yes, okay. The Overlord here gets spaced out just enough to avoid that Javelin. So now he'll have a shield. Having a shield on your Overlord's great. It's an extra HP bar, and it blocks 1 instance of extremely dangerous damage. In this case, it would not block the Javelin. The Javelin goes right through shields. Unfortunate, but I think there's enough Overlords here. 3 Overlords will live. This guy, unfortunately, does get tagged out, but I don't think it will be too bad. Overlords are pushing through in a big way. This orbital bombardment clears away all the chaff, so now these Overlords don't need to worry as much. This guy might go down to anti-Overlord fire. There goes the shield. Overlords do kill each other normally in a single volley, but he's able to survive 2 volleys. That's really important. All right, let's see if there's enough. There's a lot of chaff here, and these Overlords are going to be engaging on DakaDaka's Overlords in a really important way. Yeah, down it goes. And that's that. Another minimum 800 damage coming out here for Luck. This just shows you the caliber of these players. Even though Luck was really not doing well for the first couple of rounds, he's pulled it back in a big way. He's not going to be able to win with this, but you know, it's a lot. It takes out the missile turret as well, and now DakaDaka's in a rough spot. Oof. Luck is still behind by 1,000 HP, but he can win this with this coming round. Charged ammo coming out for DakaDaka. Luck might choose... Oh man, that Vulcan would be pretty good though. Let's see what Luck does here. I do like that DakaDaka is trying to answer the Overlords with Overlords of his own. Unfortunately, those Overlords aren't going to be leveled, nor do they have any equipment. We'll see. Luck has finally made his choice. It looks like it's the shield drop. Well done. That should protect these units for a little while longer. Charged ammo coming out, and the wasps for these Overlords is going to be incredibly important. I want to see if Luck... Yeah, I was going to say, I want to see if Luck positions some of these Overlords in the far back just to allow more wasps to spawn. Having different waves of units come in at different points of time is incredibly important in this here game of Mechabellum, as it just allows maybe an extra 1 or 2 spawns of wasps. And those extra wasps do add up. They really, really do. I like that Luck has also kept his flanks protected this whole time while recycling units that he really doesn't need. extra Fang, extra Crawlers, those types of things that just aren't really performing. Might as well get rid of them. Double shields here from Luck as well. Just a little bit of protection here for the Stormcallers. I don't really think they needed it. These two missiles should cancel each other out. No, actually, there's more than enough missile turrets. And you know what's actually great here about the Missile Interceptor is that it deals with the Overlords quite well. Just because Overlord shots do count as missiles, and that will seriously cripple a lot of the DPS here. Not fully, though. And these Overlord shots are now landing and spawning more units. It's 3 Overlords shooting out. Oh, there goes the steel balls. This is too many Overlords. And these Overlords spawning Wasps are causing the enemy Overlords to shoot at the Wasps. That's going to be GG. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Especially with all the extra Wasps. Let's see if Luckhard does kill him. Oh, it does. By a significant portion. Well done, Luckhard. That's a game to learn from. Never quit, never stop, and also pay attention to the field. Luck made a huge transition there. It really paid off. Well done to both players. See you in the next round. If you've been enjoying this content, please be sure to like and subscribe. We move into the God Emperor of MB versus Kapooey. Man, we've got some great Warhammer references this tournament. I do love it. God Emperor goes with Fang Sledgehammer with the Speed Specialist. Okay, so one of the main drawbacks of both these units are their lack of speed, but actually being a little bit quicker will help them close that gap. And let's take a look at what Kapooey is. Kapooey actually ended up group number 11, Advanced Group second runner-up. Fantastic, good for Kapooey. Rhino Spec. Okay, we've seen some Rhino Specs throughout this tournament. I do think it's one of the better units. However, it does come at the cost of a lot of HP. Looks like God Emperor is going to stick to his guns, grab another unit of tanks. I do like this. Tanks are becoming more and more relevant within the meta, and they will perform extremely well against these units. Unfortunately, the Fang will not, but the Fang are kind of here, at least early game, to absorb sniper shots. And these units do work very well with each other. I kind of like this bricked formation. Everybody's going to be supporting each other. Unfortunately, these tanks are the outliers, and more often than not, people tend to place their snipers next to the tower. Just because it gives the snipers a lot of range. They can also shoot units that are coming into the back line, so I do like this placement here. Very standard deployment by Kapooey. Kind of a non-standard deployment from the God Emperor, but we will see. We'll see how that works out. And of course, now our command centers can upgrade, and so can the research center. I'm not sure I've ever seen a player do this, but hey, it's an option. So hopefully that's something that players will do more often now. I'm not sure, but it could be a thing. Looks like there's going to be a lot more support here on the right. These tanks should be able to get rid of a lot of the damage. Unfortunately, these Fang are a little bit on the out, and that's going to hurt them. But as long as these tanks are the ones absorbing those shots from the Mustang, they'll be in a good way. Huge win on the right here for old God Emperor. Kapooey's going to be really in a bad spot here as these units re-engage. There's absolutely no way that he'll be able to win this. There just aren't enough Mustang to clear away these Fang. And these tanks, man, I love these little guys. These tanks are kind of like escorting their kids to school. Come on, kids, follow the tanks. Well done. Oh, and choosing to ignore this Mustang. This is actually a good thing for Kapooey's units, or for God Emperor even, just because killing those towers do give a little bit of experience points. So you actually want your units to go around and kill stragglers and the towers before finishing off the opponent. Ooh, Supply Specialist. Yeah, that's very early in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if both players pick this up. Kapooey might be thinking about that haste module, or even the Wasps. There are a significant number of Fang on the field, but Wasps are still pretty good. Oh, Kapooey does grab the haste module. Okay. So now God Emperor just needs to kind of let this game play out for a long period of time. The longer the game goes, the more likely God Emperor is to win. Wow, that's interesting. That is really interesting. We'll see if this makes a difference. Now, God Emperor could make that play because he won the last round. He felt confident. I think that was a wise decision on his part. Luckily, the Supply Specialist pays itself back really quickly, grabbing an extra unit of Fang. Fang in the background. These guys are probably here to defend against the Wasps that he's a little bit afraid of possibly coming out. Kapooey looks like grabbed at least one unit of arc light. And potentially some more crawlers, or maybe even a Mustang wouldn't have gone astray here. There's nothing. Oh, there they are. I was going to say, there's the crawlers. There is a unit of crawlers in the back line. It looks like this arc light will be pulled off to clear it. Well done. Good placement there on that arc light. So if you want to stop tank aggression, shields are a really good way to do it. Tanks, although they hit kind of hard, don't hit extremely hard. Their rate of fire is pretty darn slow until they get the mechanical rage upgrade. So these shields will be able to absorb a huge amount of damage. Down go the crawlers. This arc light will be there to clear them away, but it looks like the engagement is going to happen inside the shield for the most part. Oh no, these tanks might actually move and engage the Mustang. Looks like they will as the last of those crawlers go down. That is unfortunate. Crawlers did nothing in the back line. We see more tanks and arc lights moving up. This sniper is dead. It all comes down to how quickly this tower drops and what units are left. There isn't going to be a huge amount left here for the God Emperor. Kapooey sniper is sitting in a really safe spot, and it takes a long time for these towers to be destroyed. You know, we might actually see the first tower upgrades I've ever seen in Mechabellum. I've played a lot of 2v2s recently with my good friend Calavora. I've played on the ladder quite a bit recently, and I've never seen the command center receive a increase. But it just might happen. If the shield does drop, it would almost be worthwhile here for the God Emperor. And it looks like the shield will drop. I don't think he's going to win this, but that's pretty nice. It's $100 lost. These tanks may be able to push through and deal with the sniper. There's 3 of them. They need 2 shots to kill the sniper. Oh, they might do it. There's 1, there's 2. Oh, 1 more shot. 1 more shot. Oh, he does not get it. Well done, sniper. That little hero sniper earned itself a level, and that's very important, because now the sniper will start one-shotting these tanks, if the tanks don't receive an upgrade themselves. But for the God Emperor, it was a very, very good time and place for that to happen. Only losing by a little bit after picking up the supply specialist is great. Kapooey goes with the heavy hacker. Hackers are great against tanks. He has them. Will he play out too? Opts to recycle the unit that had the haste module as well. If that was placed on a unit. I didn't see it. No, instead recycling his Rhino. I don't see the Rhino placed anywhere. I think Kapooey just needed that cash, and he went for the quick recycle on the Rhino. It's not a bad choice. It's a huge increase in cash. Also, a great new thing that happens with the field recovery is that when you hover over a unit, you can see exactly how much that is going to cost, or how much money is going to be refunded. Tanks get a full upgrade. They'll be able to plunk away at the shield considerably quicker now. Shields do not scale. Deployables do not scale throughout the game. So the longer the game goes on, the weaker most deployables become. Besides really the missile interceptor. The missile interceptor will just keep plunking away intercepting missiles. So it's pretty good. It'll just continue to be pretty good. I'd like to see these tanks start to get an upgrade. Normally once you have 4 or 5 sets of a unit, it is worth upgrading them just because the cost does drop drastically per unit for the upgrade. So 300 across 4 units is a lot better than 300 across 1 unit. A good amount of Fang coming out as well. You know, these Fang can eventually become quite deadly. You can really catch your opponent out by suddenly having, 6 units of Fang that all of a sudden all have range and attack increases. Oh, here it comes. The hackers. The hackers are really going to turn this in the favor of Kapooey. Man, I love a good hacker game. I absolutely love a good hacker game. And all these tanks are getting distracted. They're shooting at each other. Oh no, it's all falling apart here for the God Emperor. In fact, there's more tanks now for Kapooey than there are tanks for the God Emperor. This is just, oh my god. This is just horrible here for the God Emperor. He's going to take a huge amount of damage. Really well played here by Kapooey. God, you gotta love a good hacker game. I think I know what my thumbnail's gonna be. Hackers, hackers, and more hackers. Well done, everybody. Well done indeed. Oh my god, these hackers are gonna actually allow more damage to come out on the God Emperor. That is just phenomenal. Really well played there by Kapooey. Kapooey's able to even it up in a big way. Deployment spec for the God Emperor. A good choice as he's already earning that extra 50. Being able to deploy a couple extra units is definitely going to be worthwhile. Hackers now have shields. Man, and these tanks are just not going to deal with the shields very well. What's the great answer to hackers? Stormcallers. Stormcallers get through shields very quickly. They're able to smash down the hackers pretty quickly as well. These hackers have a lot of HP, though. So what happens is that the Stormcallers normally lock on the first unit, and they do have good splash damage. So they should be able to kind of deal some damage to the hackers. I don't know. These hackers are already level 2. I would have liked to see these Stormcallers come out at level 2, but money has become a bit of an issue here for the God Emperor. Yes, he's earning a little bit more than Kapooey, but this is going to be dangerous. It's going to be very dangerous. And there's another hacker here on the left. Not super important, but it should be able to convert these tanks over. That way, old Kapooey doesn't keep losing that flank. Crawlers have disappeared. That's probably a wise decision from Kapooey as well, just because it was feeding XP to the sledgehammers. And the worst thing that can happen is that the tanks continue to level. Once the tanks become level 3, level 4, they suddenly become much more deadly. Stormcaller shots are going in. They're dealing significant damage to the shields, but it's not really enough, not quick enough even, to actually get in there and start converting. And you know what's happening? These sledgehammers are just a little bit too close or a little bit too far away, so the Stormcallers can actually aggro on friendly enemy tanks that have been converted by the hackers. That means that these Stormcallers aren't shooting at the hackers. So slowly but surely, the Stormcallers keep re-engaging on these tanks instead of killing the unit that's converting the tanks. And that's just not enough damage. Man, really well played. This can feel like, how do I defeat this at this point? The God Emperor can quickly become discouraged, but if the God Emperor of Mankind is a character that is going to be channeled, there is a chance that he can make a comeback here. There needs to be mass Stormcaller, and I think this Ion Blast can really keep the God Emperor in the play here. Unfortunately, the Ion Blast is going to do very well for both players, but specifically, it's going to harm the God Emperor a lot. His units are in a very straight line, and although the Ion Blast takes a long time to come down and deal the damage, there's already shields out for Kapooey, and these shields are going to last for a while. Now the Missile Interceptor is here as well. It should be able to plink away. Probably not destroy all of the missiles, but really plink away at them. We need to see a mass battery of Stormcallers here, and I don't think the God Emperor has the cash to do so. Either mass battery of Stormcallers or these tanks really need to be level 3 with some upgrades. So unfortunately, the Emperor has to both defend these units. Oh no, that's not going to do it. The fire is good. Don't get me wrong, fire is good, but the problem is that he's not eating through these shields quick enough. And this Ion Blast could quickly decimate the God Emperor's units. Mass shielding, man, these hackers with shields are so great. They're the cheapest way to get shields that respawn in the game over a length of time. Yes, fortresses have shields. Yes, those fortress shields are better, at least in my opinion, because they're sized a little bit larger. But hackers are just less expensive than fortresses, and they tend to fill the role a little bit better. If hackers are working well for you, they tend to work much better than fortresses over a period of time, just because fortresses can be hard countered a little bit easier than hackers. Out comes the laser. The laser does have an extremely long time now. It is going to have that little bit of splash, and the Stormcallers do move up anyways. Stormcallers aren't going to do really much. That fire does help, though. It does clear away quite a few of these Mustang, and one hacker will drop to the Ion. Will this be enough? I don't think so. Without the support of the Stormcallers on the right, these tanks are going to spend most of their time killing friendly tanks. And this super tanky hacker here, the level 3 hacker, is not really going to worry about this too much. This won't kill the God Emperor, which I was thinking that this might be the death blow, but it won't kill him. Maybe it will give him enough time to continue to build out these Stormcallers. As more and more Stormcallers hit the field, they will eventually turn the tables. Of course, that can be countered here by Kapooey with simply a couple units of Mustang and the Missile Interceptor, or spending a ton of cash on the Missile Interception. God Emperor quickly takes the Shield Device Specialist. Interesting choice. Kapooey's going to think about it a little bit. I did see quite a few upgrades come out for the God Emperor as well. A wise decision. As these units continue to upgrade, they'll perform better. He really just needs a lot of Stormcallers, though, just to keep hammering away at these shields. Remember, as the shields, or as this unit levels up, the shield also increases in HP. So it's just going to take longer and longer for these level 2 Stormcallers to plunk through them. Luckily, the Stormcallers will be firing significantly faster. That will help a huge amount. Here comes the next battery of Stormcallers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There are... Oh no, the Mustang can't even intercept the missiles. They don't have the ability to. Alright, we'll see if this is enough. It's going to be Hacker and Mustang versus Mass Stormcaller Tank. Oh, it's going to be tough. The God Emperor's in a really rough spot. I do think that this was a wise decision, upgrading the range, just because the range has been shortened on the Stormcallers because of this upgrade. But we'll see how it goes. Missile goes out. Missile is blocked. Here come just mass Stormcaller shots. There's no longer a missile interceptor on the field, but look how little damage they did to those shields. It takes 2 volleys. I think it's enough, though. I do think that there is enough Stormcallers here to kind of deal with this. They're already starting to just destroy the hackers. The hackers aren't even through the shields yet. That shield device specialist was very important, and there is a lot of tanks left over. These tanks have not been converted. They're able to start plummeting down on these hackers. Let's see if enough units survive the fire. Yes, it does. Wow, big comeback here for the God Emperor. He was on his last legs, but notice he also didn't burn the Midnight Oil. He did not go for the rapid resupply, so he will be neck and neck here with Kapooey, but he has a small economic advantage over the last couple of turns because of that supply specialist. Kapooey is now also in the danger zone. Both players opt for the photon emission. Stormcallers are getting mass upgrades, melting points to try and deal with these tanks, but not only that, they'll absorb a lot of damage. Okay, and it looks like we're going to see a transition here to these Fang. The Fang get a small upgrade. It just allows them to deal that damage a little bit sooner. And honestly, having the Fang deal damage a little bit sooner is very important. The Mustang don't have range. So now the Fang actually outrange the Mustang by a significant amount. By a huge amount because of that extra 15 range as well. That is very, very important. Will the God Emperor grab a couple more shields? I think that would be a wise decision. Kapooey eats a few units. He does have a little bit of money left over. Luckily, Kapooey doesn't really have to spend on shields anymore because he has enough hackers out here with shields, and these level 3 shields are actually better than any deployable shield he could have anyways. Ooh, a Rhino. A Rhino right into the back line. Oh no. We'll see if the Stormcallers are able to put it down, but I don't think they will be able to. I really don't think they'll be able to. This might be the killing blow here by Kapooey. A very good decision to actually play this Rhino right there. Oh no, there's absolutely nothing here to block this, and the God Emperor kind of left this flank open for a little bit too long. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, this Rhino's just going to get in there and kill the tower immediately. The distraction play does not work. Oh no, oh no. The Rhino's going to go in. Down goes the tower here in 2 seconds. Is there going to be enough Stormcaller fire to kind of protect this? I don't think so. Oh, this is going to be a devastating loss for the God Emperor. Really good eyes here by Kapooey. Just spotting, hey, you know what? I can win this game, and I'm going to win this game. I'm going to play a Rhino. I'm going to move it in, destroy the tower. There's nothing to block it. Extremely well done. Wow, this guy's got some range on him, huh? Just able to plink away. Well played by both players. I liked that the God Emperor had a small chance there. Nearly brought it back, but not quite. GG. We'll see you guys in the next round. Congratulations to both players. On to the next round. We have HD versus Ruby. Oh my. I have seen Ruby played quite a bit recently. In fact, I believe Ruby placed in one of the most recent tournaments. I think they might go with the aerial specialist. If memory serves, they did actually like the aerial specialist. Granted, Stormcallers have become weaker, and unfortunately, Ruby is facing a point in time where there's three of their cards have Stormcallers. That's going to be rough. Wow, this is a very powerful Rhino specialist. Tanks plus marksman. Wow, I think we're going to see a mirror, though. Rhino specialist versus the marksman. So let's talk a little bit about this marksman. Extremely powerful, but it does come with some real drawbacks. The marksman should be able to one-shot anything that comes on the field at this point in time in the game, dealing 6,744 damage. Unless there's like an extremely early giant, say round 2, the marksman should perform extremely well. But what this means is that the marksman is going to be killing a lot of the units that you prefer your Stormcallers, your Arclights, any other of these units actually get the killing blow on. That way they earn XP. Not only that, this marksman is worth a huge amount of XP to any units that kill it, basically leveling anything on the enemy's team if they kill it. So there is a significant drawback to having this level 3 marksman. It's not only just an extremely good killing machine, it is a double-edged sword. So you have to be thinking about that when you play the elite marksman. But in this case, I think the elite marksman will work very well for old HD or Ruby even, just because there is a significant lack of entities on the enemy team's field. Ruby does opt to grab some crawlers of his own. I think that's a wise decision. There just needs to be some chaff on the field for both players as this game starts. We'll see if the tanks are enough to deal with the amount of chaff on the field here, though. I have to give it to the Arclight and Stormcallers, at least initially. They should be able to clear away these crawlers a little bit quicker. But there isn't a huge amount of support for these Arclights. Oh no, little Arclight in the center is going to drop very quickly. On the flanks, the Arclights are able to clear away the crawlers very quickly, though. And it looks like it will be enough. We'll have to see how these Stormcaller shots land, but the longer the game goes on, the more likely it is for this sniper to get online and kill off all these tanks. Man, really good Stormcaller shots there. Actually did clear away most of the tanks. Now it's going to be Sniper Wars, and this sniper can take a shot. Let's see how it goes, but it did go the way of our red player. Good job, Ruby. And that's the importance of having good wave clear. Those tanks honestly are a little unsupported here. I'd like to see something else in the center. Deployment spec early is extremely powerful. I'd be surprised if the players don't pick this up. I do like the subsidized crawler, but it's just not nearly as powerful as the deployment specialist. Ruby does believe so as well, grabs the deployment specialist. They should be able to start powering ahead in the chaff wars if that's their choice. No, grabbing 2 snipers and maybe another unit. They have the cash. HD is still thinking about it. Wow, there's your 4 snipers. I wouldn't advise many players go beyond 4 snipers. I think 4 snipers is generally enough to take care of basically anything. 4 well-upgraded and well-teched snipers can deal with giants. They can deal with things like tanks very well. Maybe 5 if there's also air units, but previously in other tournaments we've seen players with 5, 10 snipers between that range, and that seems to have kind of dropped away a little bit. Eventually, if you do have, you know, the full upgrade on your snipers, it's probably worthwhile to grab a few more snipers, but we'll see how this engagement goes. More tanks and more crawlers did... Yes, okay, HD also grabbed the deployment spec. Very much worthwhile. It will help quite a bit here, and these extra snipers will do a great job at just clearing away some of these tanks early. They're in the back line already killing tanks. Very important, and now they're moving forward. Not only that, these Stormcallers are a great answer to both tanks and snipers. Interestingly enough, these tanks seem to just... Either the Stormcallers have a bit more accuracy in this tournament than I'm used to, but they seem to be able to hit tanks even while those tanks are moving. Previously, Stormcallers would miss something moving at 1 meter per second. But no, it seems like this is going quite well. HD does hit his power spike, though. Ooh, and the photon coating on that Rhino could be really mean. Like, just turning that Rhino into something that takes a long time to die. We'll see what he opts for. Snipers could also get a level here for HD. Yes, he does grab the photon coating. Let's see where he places it. It might not be worth putting on the Rhino. Actually, I would think so. The Rhino is going to try and be countered here by some level 1 hackers. Those hackers are going to have enough support in the back line. Ruby can play a 3rd unit. What is it? Another unit of crawlers. Wise to... Oh, no. Yeah, it is a unit of crawlers. This Arclight's been there for a while. Interesting. So HD does have the mobile beacon and 2 rhinos, but instead of forcing the rhinos into the tower, he's choosing to have his crawlers dance. Now that should pull away some of the Stormcaller shots, but this Arclight is going to be in range of those crawlers very quickly and should be able to just absolutely decimate them. We shall see. I do like this Rhino support on the flank here by HD. If it kills this Arclight off, all of a sudden the wave clear drops massively for Ruby. Pretty much all of the wave clear is being tied into these arc lights. Yes, Stormcallers can clear crawlers, but they're unlikely to do so unless the crawlers are tied down by a separate unit. Ooh, Ruby. Ruby grabbed the wasps. Oh, there they are. And these wasps will kill the tower very quickly. So it's most likely going to go to Ruby. A very good play here. Oh no, the hacker would probably get or the Rhino will probably be converted by the hacker as well, due to the slowdown. It's going to be tough though. He's going to get it. He's definitely going to get it. And in come the wasps. That's why the wasp play is extremely important. Yes, the wasps have a very long cooldown. Oh my god. That's the power of the hacker, just converting a little crawler there. Oh my god. No, the Rhino does not get it. Well played here by Ruby. Really well played. Being just a force of dominance. Actually, where did they place last time? Advanced group number 4. Good for them. Good for them indeed. Great killing here. A lot of damage coming out on HD. Where did HD place last time? Advanced group 1, number 4. All right. Well, we will see if these two players can continue, but Ruby is extremely dominant right now. HD opts for the orbital bombardment. Ruby has a lot of choices here. Ruby's so far ahead, they can even choose to play it a little slow. They don't necessarily need to get the damage, but they opt to try and close out the game. I would be very tempted to burn the Midnight Oil here and just go for the kill. You know, grab the Midnight Oil, grab the range, grab the speed, just so that your units are longer range, they're faster, they're hitting harder. Like, it just... I might go with all of the tech and all of the command center upgrades just to try and make one big push in a round. It's still very early, though. Round 4 would be a very quick kill. But it can happen. These Rhinos really need the detonation here. They need the detonation, and they need to just go straight for the tower. There isn't really a lot of things that would stop them. This missile will, though. Does the photon coating... no, it does not make them immune to slow. It's interesting that it makes you immune to most everything else but slow. That's what the power armor is for. Oh well. HD's scared, and I don't blame them. They are taking a huge amount of damage in a very short period of time, grabbing the speed and the rapid resupply. They did not grab a specialist. Oh, yeah, of course they did. They grabbed the orbital bombardment. Range on the snipers. A wise decision. And both upgrades. Let's see if it's enough. I don't think so. I think the mass hacker with shield will once again be more than enough to deal with this. The slow hurts, but honestly it's not so bad because it just means that the Rhinos will be moving in with a little bit of support. Or with their support destroyed, at least they won't be moving in as quickly. Hacker goes down on the right. Will it be enough? Oh, this Rhino's going to give it the business. These Rhinos should be able to move in and claim the tower. Out goes the last explosive. I think it's not going to be enough. Wow. This might be a comeback here for HD. The Rhinos have a lot of work to do, but there isn't really much that will kill them. If the sniper and hacker goes down, the Rhino should reign supreme here. Yep. Go Rhino play. Well done, and we have a bit more of a game here. Let's see if this can turn around for HD. Ruby is not going to be in a bad spot, though. He took a huge hit there, but honestly, the orbital bombardment wasn't that great for Ruby. It was very good for HD, though. Haste module could be good for HD and for Ruby. I do love the shields, but the question for HD is, hey, am I going to be in this game for the next 2-3 rounds? I don't know. If he loses one, he's dead, and that's a really rough place to be. Looks like Ruby goes with the subsidized crawlers, just because he had 2 crawlers to upgrade. Not a bad choice. Upgrades on the hackers, just so that they can deal with these Rhinos a little bit more, and it looks like there might be some Fang play as well. This is just to delay the Rhinos, and unfortunately, they'll do extremely well at killing off wasps as well. That's going to hurt. That's really going to hurt. But I do like this transition here from HD. Just having a good brick of wasps. Where are they going? That's what I thought. Right on the flank. And the Fang are not going to counter them. Okay. That's a lot of wasps. They can they move? They can't move. So this is... Oh, they can move. Okay, good enough. Tokyo drifting wasps. That's going to make a big difference. And next turn, he can move those wasps out, just because most likely, if this round continues, if the game continues, Ruby would just slap a couple of Mustang, either with the splash damage upgrade or the anti-air. Would do extremely well there. Photon coating coming out for HD as well. Probably worthwhile. I don't think it will make that big of a difference, as most of these units are going up against things that would one-shot them, probably even with the 50% reduction in damage. I mean, it will slow down the hackers a little bit. Here come the Tokyo Drifting Wasps. There's nothing really to stop them besides this marksman. Question is, can they get in there fast enough? I believe so. I really do believe so. Rhino is slowly going to be converted, and unfortunately it has to go through a ton of these Fang. Let's see if he can get the tower in time. That looks pretty good. One Rhino at least won't be converted. Able to kill a hacker. Off go the these little wasps. They're doing a great job. Clearing away snipers, clearing away stormcallers. Very important. Man, the wasps are going to win it here. As this last sniper falls, there's what? A couple of groups of Fang left that can shoot up. I don't think there'll be enough Fang. Down goes the tower. This Rhino is very powerful, doing a great job. Yeah, this is another win for HD. Well played indeed. He's making some really important decisions here in order to stay in the game. They're brutal knife fights in the streets, and I love it. He's realized that he's got to win through his intuition rather than trying to break the front. Let's see what both players pick up here. Oh, man. Amp Core, it's probably the best out of all of these. The Assault Fortress definitely isn't worth it. Yeah, both players go with the Amp Core. A pretty standard decision. HD's gonna try and, I think, win at the front now by grabbing a whole bunch of Stormcallers. 3 units of Stormcallers. He still has enough cash to move out these Wasps. Ruby is forced to take Mustang, and you know what's actually a very good counter to Mustangs? Stormcallers. So not a bad decision here. Wow, 4 units of Mustang. They're just going to absolutely obliterate these Wasps. The Wasps really need to move. They've been found out, and unfortunately that's kind of a one-trick pony, as now there's more than enough Mustang to deal with them, and there's a ton of Fang on the field. He needs to spend the cash both to move these Wasps and also, potentially, deal with the Mustang. You know, honestly, the fire upgrade on these Stormcallers wouldn't go amiss. He doesn't have enough cash, HD that is, but in the future, that could work out quite well. Lots of missiles here for Ruby. He needs to slow down these Rhinos. A wise decision. HD still has $100. Now he has 300, burning the Midnight Oil. Could grab a range increase just to help these Stormcallers get online on the shields a little bit early. Oh, instead opting to play out a 4th unit of Stormcallers. I think this is a wise decision. Just needs to cripple these shields, needs to cripple the units underneath them. That way the Rhinos can keep dealing the damage that they need to do. The shield is already at a quarter. That's quite nice. Ooh. Here's the first missile. Now this Rhino has been converted pretty much every turn since, and another Rhino is converted. This is really bad for the Stormcaller play, just because it means that the Stormcallers are going to start shooting at the Rhinos instead. He needs to kill this Rhino very quickly. He does. The Stormcallers should reset. They do, but is it too little too late? Oh, this isn't looking good here for HD. Ruby might be able to push through without the cheese play. HD had earned himself an extra 2 rounds in this tournament, but I think it's just too little too late. The snipers are killing each other, and they're killing the towers. Oh no, that's it for HD. Really good scrappy play here to keep himself in the tournament a little bit longer, provide us with some really good plays, but it just is too little too late. The hackers are able to push through. Snipers are able to get in there and deal the damage. GG. Well played by Ruby. Well played by HD. I think they're both incredibly good players. We will see you in the next round.